Jesus fuck, man. 25 seconds. I swear, if I see a YouTube staff member, I'm going to tie them down and slap them in the face for an hour for every second that I go over a time limit in one of my videos. So they're going to be slapped for eternity. My point is, I'm making this video, again, mind you, because much like these videos, we work for free, but then other people want to dictate what we can and can't do. That's my main beef with tf2. It isn't the hats, it isn't the newbies that don't know what the fuck they're doing, it isn't even the overgrown man-children, you know, bitching each other out and acting like assholes. You know, all of that is relatively harmless. But what isn't harmless is this notion that Valve can take credit and make commission for shit they didn't do. You know, there's this one guy's blog I've linked to in the past where he made 75% of the ideas that are on TF2 right now, way before TF2 published them. Do you see his name anywhere in the credits? Does he get, you know, a cut of all the profits Valve makes? No, he doesn't get shit for it. So they stole his ideas, you know, pretty much mechanic for mechanic. They stole the stats of his weapon ideas, gave them different names, and then claimed it as their own. He has obviously documented proof that he came up with those ideas, but, you know, since Valve has the lawyers, Valve has the money, everyone just sucks their dick, and that's the end of that. No. So, you know, or the fans that make all the cool servers like Mario Kart and Dodgeball and Randomizer and all this other shit, they don't get no credit or commission either. But then a year or two later, Valve will say that it's an official server type and then make money off of that too. You know, a lot of 99% of what's in TF2 is the result of fans. It's either fan-made or fan-inspired. Don't post on their forums, because whatever idea you have, they'll just fucking steal, put it in the game, and claim it as their own. I wish to God somebody had the balls to join me and basically plagiarize TF2. Just to show them what it feels like, and, you know, to stick it to them. To stick it to them that it is essentially TF2 with a few recolorings here and there, and, you know, we call it another name, even something blatantly ripped off of it, like, you know, Vanguard Fortress 2, or whatever, and, you know, just do it for the lulz. Do it to, you know, say to them that if you think you could do it, we can do it too. And, you know, that really pisses me off. They're so unethical that they make Walmart look saintly, and people just deal with it. You know, like V tells me I'm idealistic, and, you know, just my head in the clouds, because I think that I can find programmers that are willing to work with me to create the video game ideas I have, and that, you know, will write a contract down that if I make any money off these video games, 90% of the commission will go to them for the actual labor they committed, you know, because, yeah, it is my idea, and, you know, I want to be able to survive without having to bust my ass and, you know, act like a fucking nigger, but, you know, they deserve the money, because they actually, you know, got their hands dirty and, you know, programmed, and programming is fucking difficult. You know, it took me 12 hours to learn to move a line on a screen. So, you know, I do not have the patience or that type of mentality to do programming. It boggles my mind that you could take basically a cement block and turn it into this means of information and communication. Fucking magnets, man. How do they work? So, you know, I'm not even going to try to pretend that I understand what programmers are going through, and I commend them for what they do. And, you know, that's what pisses me off most of all. Valve does not appreciate all the work that goes into TF2 from just fans, just from people willing to work for free just to make the game fun. And, you know, we're not doing this for anybody but ourselves and for our friends and for the people around us to have an enjoyable experience. And Valve thinks that they can dictate that. Valve thinks that they can exploit that to make money and to just basically tell you to fuck off, that they're in charge. Because, you know, despite how mostly it's a fans-made game, in fact, Team Fortress 2 was founded upon a franchise that was fan-made. Team Fortress itself is a fan-made product of Quake. So, but yet they claim that they can put it on Steam and that they can bar you from Steam. So, if for those of you who bought the game, you know, it's not yours to own. Apparently, they think they can bar you from playing TF2 or all your Steam games for that matter. And most games are on Steam, so pretty much you're screwed. You know, the same thing applies to those that free to play. It's not free. If you have to buy items in order to, you know, actually play the game, then it's not fucking free. How is that any different than DLC? Don't tell me that if you just wait long enough, you'll get the shit or the achievements. Achievements are not a practical method of obtaining weapons. And drop system, really? You're gonna wait like 3 years just to get half the weaponry? And you know, you can't even hold all the weapons. 50 item inventory limit versus like 120 actual weapons in the game. So you will never get the full experience unless you at least buy more inventory space. So where's the logic here that it's free to play? It's a demo. You know, they just use different wording because they know that's a marketing ploy. It works. You are stupid. You will throw money at them. And they even said that outright, that Team Fortress 2 has basically become this gigantic experiment of how idiotic the consumer is and how they will basically buy anything. And you're falling right into its hands, and it makes me sick. You know, I don't want to exploit people like that. I certainly don't want to continue to make profit at the expense of those that actually work. I don't want to make fools out of people. I don't want to dictate what they can and can't do. I don't want to dictate what they can and can't say. You know, and then people have the nerve to get mouthy with me. They have the nerve to attack me. You know, what is wrong with you? Have you no dignity or self-respect? So, you know, as much as it's funny, and the hats and the stupid shit about TF2, the grotesque imbalance of the HP system, and you know the fact that you die in 1 to 3 hits no matter what, that's irrelevant. That is just, you know, shit that could be avoided if it was a better game. But what we need is a better society, because, you know, what's the point of having video games if it's these fucking corporate elite that just use it to make money and to exploit the poor? You know, we might as well not even fucking have video games at all. It'd probably be better that way, because at least then the rich assholes wouldn't be taking advantage of it. So as much as people bitch about like the FCC and shit, I'd rather have nothing than let somebody else obtain everything at my expense. I think that's a very moral and, you know, justifiable position. I believe that is the only reasonable position, and nobody has given me a solid counter argument, and they never will, because all they care about is sucking the rich's dick and, you know, pretending that everything's fine when it clearly isn't. So that's all I have to say. Hopefully that was less than 10 minutes.